Jim here, RCAD, another unboxing video for y'all today. Traxxas Trx4 Sport Traxx. This vehicle is for my niece. She doesn't know that she's got this as of yet. She does have a Red Cat Gen 8 that is highly modified. You can see that on my channel. And she's having a little bit of issues getting through the snow with the old Gen 8. Having trouble keeping up with myself and her father since we have Traxxas Trx4 Broncos with the Traxx on them. She's having a hard time keeping up, so we went out and got her this Traxxas Trx4 Sport with the track kit on it. Comes with the deep lug paddle tracks, which is cool. Those tracks definitely work, I can guarantee you that. Those are some awesome tracks. They work great in the deep snow, especially compared to the stock tracks. Even compared to my tracks that I custom cut, the stock set that I cut down, they do way better than those as well. Sorry about the flash here. Bonus offer here, they added a set of tires along with it, so that's pretty cool that they come with a set of 1.9 Canyon trails along with the vehicle. $80 value according to what's on the box there. Over to the back side of the box, we've got another Trx4 Sport here, the orange one. On this side of the box, we have a Trx4 Sport in blue and one in orange, this one being marked off in blue. Battery and charger not included. Bunch of other nonsense down here, and I'll let you all read that if you decide to get one. The opposite end of the box, another Trx4 Sport in orange. Now looking at the top half of the box, this is where all our good information is at here on the vehicle itself. Trx4 scale in trail crawler, full-time lock differentials, single speed transmission, metal gear digital servo, torque twist eliminated with our portal axles, waterproof ESC, air quotations on waterproof ESC, more ground clearance with your portals, 2.95 inches to the bottom of the portal. Rigid steel frame, which is nice. Improved geometry. XL5 3S power ESC, so you can run this on 2S or 3S or nickel metal or an NiCad, I believe. Heavy duty extra wide rod ends there on the end of your links. Aluminum GTS shocks. Extreme capability, looking at our 76-degree approach angle. Includes Traxx, deep terrain track set, unstoppable capability, massive ground clearance, all-weather durability, and then several other languages there. Factory installed LED lighting and a few other different languages. Looking at some of our accessories on the back there, they got the lights there showing our light bar, our headlights, and our tail lights. And all our other little nonsense here with accessories that are bolted onto the truck, I believe. And it even comes with a fake snorkel. And before we go any further, looking at our servo here and our ESC, one thing I like to do with all of my Traxxas Trx4 products is install a Traxxas Complete BEC kit before we install the battery for the first time. So we will be doing that on this vehicle as well. We'll be installing a Traxxas Complete BEC kit, which attaches to your receiver over here and gets power off of your ESC and gives your steering servo a positive 6 volts of electricity. And what that's going to do is that's going to prolong your steering servo's life. It's going to give you more power to your steering servo as well. And if you upgrade to a different servo, once again, you're getting a positive 6 volts electricity, which is great. Because I can guarantee you right now, it is not getting a positive 6 volts of electricity. A quick peek at the bottom half of the box, showing you what all it comes with and whatnot. So let's take a peek at all this nonsense here. What's in the box? One TQ 2-channel 2.4 gig radio system, one XL5 HV waterproof ESC, a Titan 21 turn 550 motor, a quality tool set, quick start guide, Trx4 ready to drive. And then we have that in several other languages along the back here. Here's a peek at our radio, our TQ radio. Here's a peek at our XL5 ESC, which we've already seen. Looking at our 21 turn Titan 550 reverse rotation motor. Reverse rotation, keep that in mind if you go to buy a new motor, reverse rotation. Here's a look at our quality tool set. We've got a cross wrench or a box wrench and 3 Allen wrenches. Little manual there. Peek at our truck, which we'll be getting a better look at here in a minute. Traxxas support right here, so we got all our support information. Skill level 1. No previous experience with radio control models is required. A model requires a minimum of setup, maintenance, or support equipment. What you will need to run your model: 4 AA batteries, a 6 or 7 cell nickel metal battery pack, 2 or 3S LiPo battery pack, with Traxxas high current connector ID compatible battery charger. Well, ID compatible charger if you're getting a Traxxas battery with a Traxxas connector. I switched all my stuff out to a T-style connector or a Dean's style connector. So I won't be worrying about any of that nonsense there with the Traxxas ID batteries, which there's nothing wrong with. It just kind of takes the legwork out of everything because your batteries have a little ID on them. You plug them in, the charger recognizes the battery, you just hit start, and off it goes. Recommended for optimal performance, sold separately. They recommend a brushless steering servo. I believe this might be their 400 inch-ounce servo. Don't quote me on that. The 2255. They recommend a metal servo horn for your servo. They also recommend the Traxxas Complete BEC kit as well. And once again, I do highly recommend that Complete BEC kit. Now, a couple complaints that I have, boys and girls, is that Traxxas knows that the stock steering servo that they give you with this vehicle is underpowered. They know that it doesn't have enough strength to really turn these tracks from right to left. So why don't they do it from the factory? Why don't they just give you that servo from the factory along with that BEC kit? They know that that stock servo isn't going to last. Having the BEC kit will make it last longer. It's not going to give it that much more power. It will give it some more power, but it's not going to be too much at the end of the day. But this other servo will definitely make a huge difference. So these are some things that I think that they should include in the kit versus including an extra set of tires along with it. They give you the Traxx, which is great. That's why you're buying the vehicle. You're buying it with the Traxx. Tires, yeah, that's a nice bonus that it comes with tires, but I would much rather see this stuff in it right here than the tires that they give you. Another thing that they have for optional parts here is a TQI 2.4 gig 4-channel intelligent radio. They recommend that, which comes with the Traxxas Trx4 Broncos and the Blazers and the Defenders and all that good nonsense, even the 6x6. And they also have a locking differential kit that is available front and rear, since this comes with locked differentials all the way around. Alright, so let's get this baby out of the box and see what she's looking like. Bear with me on the unboxing portion here, boys and girls. I'm going to do this one-handed here. Kids, make sure you have your parents do this for you. Be careful with razor knives and cutting devices and things of that nature. Peeling her open and taking a look at it, and we are probably have it upside down, I'm sure. So let's flip her over here. Taking a quick peek at our radio here, pretty basic as far as things go. Just a little trim knob here on the side, and it looks like it's cranked pretty far to the right. Our little mode button on the top there. Not a TQI radio, just a regular TQ radio. TQI has a spot back here for the module, so you can hook up to the Traxxas link dealy deal that hooks onto your ESC and tells your angles and speed and all that other good nonsense. Such as this radio right here. Here is a TQI, which has a multifunction knob over here, your steering adjustment, your 2-speed transmission down here. You got your menu button, your set button, your differential lock. And right back here under this little cover is where you would install your Traxxas module, your little Traxxas link. We have a winch controller back here and a flashlight. Get our manual, which comes with a box wrench or a cross wrench, a couple Allen wrenches, and this big honking wrench right here is for tightening up the outer cover on your track units. So there's a little cover on the outside that you peel off real quick, and that gives you access to the nut that actually holds the tracks in place. Comes along with some stickers as well. Some Traxxas stickers over here in red, some gauge stickers, gas cap stickers, and whatnot on the back. And if you guys decide to buy one, you'll have a chance to look at the manual for yourselves. So underneath the vehicle, we have our tires buried under here. 4 Traxxas 1.9 Canyon Trails that I will be putting a new tread pattern into. They come with some black wheels. Not too shabby, really. And it looks like they threw you an extra pinion gear, which is pretty cool. Comes with an extra pinion gear there and some extra M3mm screws that are in this bag as well. That was mighty nice of them. And here we go with the piece de resistance. All out of the box, looking good, wrapped in plastic. And I would love to peel this off, I really would. This is my niece's vehicle. Once again, she does not know that she has this as of yet. Maybe we'll just pull a couple pins here. See, we have a couple pins holding the body in place, just 2 pins holding it in place. Just removing one layer of plastic. I don't want to take too much off, boys and girls, just because this is my niece's vehicle, so I want to leave some of the stuff for her to take off. It does come with a light bar up on top, so that's pretty cool. We have a Traxxas curved light bar on the roof, fake winch on the front, plastic D-rings on the front. So this will be getting removed for a real winch at some point in time. We have some gas cans on the back, a little fire extinguisher on the back as well. A high jack on the back, off-road jack. So we have some shovels over there on the inside there. Our sand ladder over here on the other side. Taking a look at the inside, a couple of body pins holding the mirrors in place. They have all the wiring neatly ran throughout the inside, going to our headlights. And back on down to our tail lights. There's our little junction box back here, where we can switch to our high beams or low beams, and everything else. Look at our tail lights. Wire running up to the top for the light bar. And peek at the underside of the vehicle, most importantly. Looking at our Traxx, and this one's dislocated. They didn't even have that one locked in right. This one, yeah, that one's dislocated too. So two Traxx were dislocated, not lined up properly. Taking a look at our aluminum oil-filled shocks here. Not a long travel kit. They recommend a long travel kit, but this does not come with one. They recommend a BEC, but it doesn't come with one. Lots of things that they recommend that it doesn't come with. Right here are our ports for the rock lights, if you want to add rock lights to the back of the vehicle or to the underside of the vehicle. Body mounts, antenna tube slightly bent. Our Traxxas battery connector there. Once again, I'll be changing that out to a Dean's style or T-style connector. Our XL5 ESC. And this little junction box right here is where you plug your lights into. Our Traxxas 21 turn 550 motor. Reverse rotation once again. Battery tray. So that's a little peek here at the underside of the vehicle. Looking at our Traxx. Once again, the deep lug Traxx. Very nice Traxx. These babies, I can tell you what, they perform in the snow. There is no doubt about that. I trimmed down a stock set of Traxx and put a nice custom tread pattern into it. I do have a video on that as well, which vastly improves the stock Traxx, but no competition for these guys. These guys really get the job done, especially out in the deep snow, that is for sure. Looking at the other side, boy oh boy, this track is really dislocated over here on this side. That one was really out of whack. Maybe they did that to get into the box, I'm not too sure. It's kind of a bummer that all the tracks were out of whack like that. This one's not even sitting on the bogey wheel right over here on this side. That's a bummer. Look at that. Look at that nonsense. That track is so far out of whack, it's not even sitting on there. The other ones look okay from the back side. So no worries with those, but this one here is going to require a little bit of straightening out in order to get this sitting in the right position. Not too difficult, but a little disheartening that it wasn't put on right from the factory. Kind of a little warning sign there, really. Look at the back of the truck, looking at our back axle. There is little shocks here on the back of the Traxx that limit your rotation. It has these anti-rotation brackets right there on the back. And these have little spacers on the inside of the shock. You can take these apart, and there's a little spacer in here that's actually limiting your travel. And I do have a video on how to remove those spacers as well. More Trx4 Bronco related, but tracks are tracks and shocks are shocks, and the video will cover both ends of it. Yeah, not too bad all in all. Looking at our vehicle. That big wrench that we had seen, that big plastic wrench, is for this nut right here. It unscrews this outer cover essentially, giving you access to the wheel nut on the inside for taking the Traxx off of the vehicle itself. Got the body back on it, taking a peek at our taillights here. Little D-rings in the bumper and a hitch receiver in the bumper as well. Brought it back into the house, let my niece unwrap it and go about her business and check it all out. She's definitely in love with this truck, that is for darn sure. It is a good looking truck. Checking out our hood. Little hood stickers, windshield wipers, which are also just stickers there on the windshield wipers. Getting a better look at our light bar. Better look at our LEDs here in the headlights. our faux winch, which you could probably unbolt off of here. But this bumper is pretty darn flimsy, so I'm pretty sure you wouldn't necessarily want to use this for any kind of real winching of any sorts. Looking underneath the hood of our Traxxas Trx4 Sport Traxx here, wanted to confirm the gearing in this just to make sure it is geared for the Traxx. And it looks like it has an 11-tooth pinion gear, which is what they suggest for the track units. And if everything goes right here, it should have a 45-tooth spur gear. That sure looks like a 45 to me. Right there. 45-tooth spur gear. So this thing is all good to go right from the factory. No gearing changes required for the Trx4 Sport Traxx. I know the first models that came out, I believe, don't quote me on it, but I believe they came with a slightly smaller gear ratio in there. We actually went ahead and bought a 45-tooth spur gear just because we were under the impression that this didn't come with one. So that is good to know that the vehicle is all set and ready to rock, right gearing right from the factory, so that is very convenient. Putting this motor in and taking it off, very simple process here, everyone. Very simple process. It just kind of sits in here like this, right in these little grooves. You take your spur gear cover, like so. Excuse the camera for being shaky or anything like that. And that gets clamped on just like this via 3 screws. 1 here, 2 here, and a 3rd one down here. And you are all set. No worries about gear lash. They've got it all measured out here on the inside for different gear ratios and different motor positions. So they tell you what to have it marked on for each individual gear, or whatever gear combination that you are running in this vehicle. One quick mental note before we go any further. Traxxas LED rock lights. Yes, they still make them. They may be a little bit hard to find on certain hobby store websites, but if you go to Traxxas's website, you will be able to find the LED rock lights. Just type them in the search criteria, LED rock lights, and they'll pop right up. We went ahead and ordered a set of my Trx4 rock lights for this vehicle, and extremely disappointed with those. We got those from A-Main Hobbies. More money than the Traxxas LED rock lights, and really terrible design. Just LEDs on a circuit board, 2 LEDs per string, 4 strings all together. This is supposed to come with a 4-way splitter and some little hold down brackets to hold these lights down. Once again, we ordered this from A-Main Hobbies. First time we ever ordered anything from A-Main Hobbies that was missing parts. It didn't come with a splitter, and it didn't come with the hold down brackets. So very disappointed with the My Trx4 Attack Trx4 Bronco rock lights. Not very pleased with those guys at all. We went on Traxxas's website, found the lights on Traxxas's website, and ordered those instead, which in my eyes are a much better LED setup. Another thing that you want to consider with the Trx4 Sport Traxx, or any Trx4 product in particular, is a Traxxas Complete BEC kit. Part number 2262. I highly recommend getting this little kit and installing it on your vehicle before you take it out for its very first run. Currently hooking up the BEC kit to the little Trx4 Sport here, Sport Traxx. Pretty easy to do, everybody. They give you the kit here. It includes these 3 little chunks of foam here. I'll show you where those go. You got your fattest chunk of foam goes in this piece right here for your wire hold down clamp. The thinnest chunk of foam goes into your new receiver cover, new thicker, taller receiver cover to accommodate that BEC kit. And that one slides in right here. Then it gives you an L-shaped piece of foam, and that has a marker, has an indentation or a little mark on the back half of the BEC where that gets applied. And our BEC kit, we're going to be mounting that right about here on the inside of our receiver box, right on top of the receiver, making sure that we leave enough room to get the lid closed. I also removed our battery tray, just loosened up the 2 screws in the front here, these 2 guys right up here in the front, and just lifted this up out of the way so we can run our wires underneath here over to our BEC kit. Very easy to install. We've got this wire right here, which is going to go into channel 2 on your receiver. Channel 2 in turn is going to get plugged into here on the top of the BEC kit. And this female JST connector right here is going to get plugged into our positive wire coming off of our ESC down here. We've got a little whip extension right there. And we're going to plug this in line. We'll still have our lights available for usage, and we'll have another lead running off to our BEC kit over here on the receiver. So I just unplugged our main positive wire here coming out of our ESC away from our lights. I'm going to use our little three-way adapter, plug it into here, run a line off over to here, and a line back off to our power supply. Looking at our receiver here, going off of our instructions, we need to unplug channel 2 from the receiver. So it says channel 1, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. Well, we got two channel 1s there, but they got your lights plugged into this one right over here, so that's an accessory, obviously. Here's our channel 1 going to our steering, I'd imagine. And channel 2 is right here for our ESC. So we need to unplug channel 2 from our channel 2 slot. And then plug channel 2 right up into here on the top of our BEC. And then plug our BEC wire back into channel 2. Your Traxxas wants you to run your main power wire for your BEC right underneath your battery tray. And that's a pretty short distance, and that's an extremely long wire. So I don't like my wires hanging out into the open, into the elements, dangling down underneath the vehicle. I don't like my connectors hanging low. I would rather keep them up inside the chassis. So I'm going to run this power wire right up and around here using these existing hold downs and run it around the battery tray, which is what I've done with all my Trx4 models. And one more thing that you need to do before you plug your BEC into the ESC is you need to run this hot wire through your new receiver box cover. That way it's all taken care of. So our BEC is now mounted on top of the receiver. We have channel 2, our ESC, unplugged from the receiver and plugged into the top of the BEC kit. We've got the BEC kit's main wire going back into channel 2. And now we just need to seal down our lid and run our positive wire back around the chassis. Now you will be using your original hold down bracket from your old receiver box cover there, just to cover our main wires coming back in here. And you might want to take a dab of silicone grease and just put it across the top of that for a little bit of water repellent. Alright, so we currently have our BEC wire running around our battery tray again, over here to our little three-way whip, and plugged directly into our ESC with our splitter going off for our lights. Just trying to basically tuck these wires up out of the way for the moment. I will be adding an on-off switch in here as well, a simple on-off switch for the lights, and another simple on-off switch in the back for rock lights once we get those hooked up for it. Our main wire coming back around and going back up to the BEC here, I have running right through the center. Only thing left to do on this is put a bead of silicone across this and across the upper gasket and put our clamp in on top. So I lifted up our wire, put a bead of silicone in underneath it. We have our lid right there as well. That dielectric grease, Traxxas silicone grease. And we're going to reinstall this right up on top of here. There we go, just like that, just that simple. A new cover in place, new receiver cover put in place. They do include all the hardware that you need to do this little dealy deal, and everything is all wired up and good to go. Dean's plug in place, our BEC connected as I shown on the video there. We have a Reedy Wolfpack 7500 milliamp 30C 2S LiPo plugged into it currently. The vehicle does come with this little card that is hanging off of your ESC. I suggest that everybody reads this card, because it tells you how to program your ESC. And what they don't tell you in here is that there's a couple extra modes. If you look in your manual, you will see those. Right here, they're only showing 3 modes. Profile 1 standard mode, Profile 2 race mode, Profile 3 training mode. Also Profile 4 and Profile 5, which they tell you about in the manual. Profile 5 is crawler mode, and that is what we want this one set at. We want to have full forward control, full reverse control, and 100% brake in both directions. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow our instructions here. Connect a fully charged battery pack to the XL5, turn on your transmitter. With the XL5 off, press and hold the set button until the light shines solid green, then solid red, indicating programming mode, and then blinks red, indicating the mode numbers. The light will blink once for Profile 1, twice for Profile 2, 3 times for Profile 3, 4 times for profile 4, which they don't tell you about, and 5 times for profile 5, which is what we're looking for. Once you see the number of blinks that you wish to select, release the button. The light will turn red and then green with the LVD active, and the model is ready to drive. So we have our battery plugged in, our transmitter is turned on over there. We're going to hold down our easy set button here until it turns green and then red, and then starts to blink red, and then we're just going to count our blinks until we hit number 5. Green, red, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it is flashing green. We should be in the right mode that we want to be in. Make sure here we got solid green there. I'm going to unplug our battery, plug it back in, and see what we got. It's been reattached. Let's turn our ESC on. We should be on. Our steering is working okay. Backing up, going forward, and we should be all good. Full forward, full reverse, 100% brake across the board, and that's the way we like it, set up in crawler mode. 5 blinks on our ESC. Read your instructions, don't throw that away, keep that with your manual just for craps and giggles. Never know, very convenient to keep this around. Alright, let's get our body on it, plug our lights in, and see what this thing looks like. Headlights on the vehicle, looking pretty good all in all. Pretty bright light bar up there. Looking at our headlights, little amber marker light built in, pretty cool. We'll peek at our taillights on the back, also looking pretty good back there. That's a very nice looking truck all in all. Here's a final look at my niece's new Traxxas Trx4 Sport Traxx in blue. Once again, we have that battery connector swapped out from the Traxxas connector to a Dean's or a T-style. We reprogrammed our ESC to profile number 5, which once again, they don't show you on the little programming card. They only show you 3 profiles on that. Look in your manual, you will see the other 2 profiles that they don't show you. Profile 5 is crawler mode, which is the mode you pretty much want to have it in for out crawling around and goofing around. Full throttle forward, full throttle reverse, 100% brake all the way around. That's what I run all my vehicles on. Another thing, once again, that I highly recommend for any Trx4 owner is the Traxxas Complete BEC kit. When you buy a new Trx4, buy the Traxxas Complete BEC kit and install it before you drive it. You will not regret it, I guarantee it. So that is going to do it, everyone. As always, questions and comments are always welcome, and we will see you all on the next video.